Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me? I think the sound is getting on now. So, hi, I'm Camilla from the University of Applied Sciences Upper Austria. Thank you very much for joining our webinar today. So what we're going to tell you today is the study offer of our university, all the international studies you can do with us. And well, I work in international office, so that's why I'll be kind of hosting this webinar today. But I have actually 4 nice colleagues here with me today, and they will actually be probably more worthwhile for you and more valuable for you. So let me briefly introduce them. We have 3 students and a graduate. So Ahmed is our student from Egypt, who's studying medical engineering. He'll be here to answer your questions about everything that's medical engineering related. Ahmed, are you here? Yeah, okay, he's writing that he's here. Very good. So he will be available with sound later on. And then we have Connor from the US. He's studying automotive mechatronics and management. He's also here with us today, and he'll be telling you more about his experience later on. Connor, I can see you in the chat, so hi. And then we have Irina from Ukraine. She's actually a graduate already. She has graduated from our master's program in global sales and marketing very successfully. She's also with us here today to answer all your business-related questions. And then finally, perfect, Irina, hi. And then we have Maria from Mexico. She's studying sustainable energy systems with us. And she's also here either with sound or with typing for now to answer your questions, everything that you might have in her area of expertise. So this is the team for today's webinar. And I think we'll just move on without much ado in order to show you a brief introduction about our university. Enjoy.
University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria.
Teaching and learning with pleasure, researching inquisitively.
Founded in 1994, the University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria is one of the leading universities of its kind. With more than 6,000 students in 70 internationally recognized degree programs, 450 academics in research and teaching, and students from 60 different countries, it's an important player in university education in Austria. Cooperations with 250 partner universities worldwide and more than 1,000 industry partners provide a vast amount of opportunities in international education and research.
All 4 schools, the School of Medical Engineering and Applied Social Sciences in Linz,
the School of Informatics, Communications and Media in Hagenberg,
the School of Engineering in Wels,
and the School of Management in Steyr
feature a very modern infrastructure with state-of-the-art laboratories, lecture halls and equipment to provide a stimulating environment for students. In addition to receiving high-quality education, our graduates benefit from top job prospects and a seamless transition into meaningful careers.
But it's not all work and no play. Our sports club offers students, graduates, and employees a wide range of sports activities to choose from. And our students know how to party. Entertaining events such as the Crazy Boat Race Boatmania or the Solar Car Challenge are just a few examples of the playful culture to be found at our 4 campuses.
What makes Upper Austria special? The province of Upper Austria is located in the heart of Austria and in the centre of Europe. It's a strong economic region which provides a number of advantages. More than 25% of Austria's exports come from this region, and many internationally recognised companies such as voestalpine, BMW, KTM, Rosenbauer and Rotax have operations here, with our graduates serving as valuable employees. This creates excellent job opportunities, resulting in a 99% employment rate for our graduates in their desired professions. And it's a safe place to live, providing one of the highest standards of living in Europe.
Upper Austria is truly beautiful, with a wide range of leisure activities and absolutely filled with culture. Springboard University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria. The quality of our education is mirrored by the success of our graduates. Some have become the CEOs of branch offices of globally operating companies such as Google, and others have founded their own startups that have developed into well-known players in their respective industries. Our motto, Make It Real, sums it up best.
Make the University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria, part of your reality. Join us in developing knowledge, skills and dreams for a better tomorrow.
Well, very good. So actually our plan A before the situation changed kind of this year. Our plan A was to show you our institution, you know, sit on campus all together with students and show you around so that you can actually get a feel for our university. But unfortunately, this Corona thing kind of changed our plan. So that's why we decided to show you a video so that you at least can get a little bit of what's happening at our university. So yes, why Upper Austria? I mean, you've seen a lot of the photos. So you would have seen that actually we have a lot of natural beauty to offer. Being located at the center of Europe is very convenient for students. So actually, if you ask our students, a lot of them choose to travel every weekend and get to know new places every weekend, which is certainly convenient being a student. But on the other side, Upper Austria is also a very strong economic region. So it's actually in Austria, it's one of the most economic regions and the strongest economic regions, also offering a lot of potential for our university and for our students in order to cooperate with industry a lot. I'll tell you more about this later. Obviously, this also results in excellent job opportunities for our graduates. Also, we have a very safe environment here. Life is very safe in Austria. We have a very low crime rate, and in general, quality of life is very high. So about our university, what can I tell you? You would have seen where we are located. It's actually between Vienna and Salzburg. So it's from our campuses, it's approximately 1.5 hours to Vienna, 1 hour to Salzburg. So you see the distances are very small in Austria. We have 4 different schools that are located in 4 different cities in Upper Austria. You will see the 4 dots in the graph. At our university, we have approximately 6,000 students in total. So it's a very small institution compared to others. But we produce a lot of alumni, a lot of successful alumni. So what do we offer for you? At our university, we have 9 programs that are completely taught in English, so 100% international, and they are 2 bachelor's programs and 7 master's degrees program. Also, for those who cannot enter an Austrian bachelor's degree program, we do offer an international foundation program that is kind of like a preparation year for university. And in general, our university is considered as the leading University of Applied Sciences in Austria in terms of research because we're very strong in that area. So we have 4 campuses, as we mentioned. I will tell you briefly about all of them. So Hagenberg is a teeny tiny town just north of Linz. It is the home to our School of Informatics, Communications and Media. It's also the home of the software park in Austria, which is kind of like the Silicon Valley here. It's quite a big campus with 1,500 students. We offer 8 bachelor's programs and 12 master's programs, and the international offer here would be interactive media, which is a master's degree program. The campus itself is very filled with student life. It's in a very small village. However, there's a lot of activities going on at the student community, obviously. Then our next campus in Linz. I'm not sure if Ahmed wants to say something about this campus. But I don't think that the sound is working for him. So let me just...
The campus in Linz is smaller than the one in Hagenberg. As you can see, it has only 800 students. But Linz is a really lively city, and it's really close to the center. It has programs about medical engineering and applied social sciences. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Then we have our School of Business and Management, which is located in the city of Steyr. Irina?
Yeah, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have graduated from the School of Management in Steyr. Is the sound okay, or is it just me hearing this?
It's very spacey, but go on.
It's gone better. The School of Management provides 6 bachelor programs and 6 master programs for 1,500 students. It provides many double degree opportunities and also a triple degree, which is very rare nowadays. So who is interested for management? Steyr will be welcoming you.
Thank you. And then we have our School of Engineering at our Wels campus. Connor?
Oh, good. Can you hear me?
Sure.
All right. My name is Connor. So I study automotive mechatronics at the School of Engineering in Wels. It's a pretty small city on a main line between the 2 big cities. There's 14 programs, all hard sciences. everything from my program, automotive mechatronics. There's also electrical engineering, innovation and production, or product management, which is kind of a blend of engineering design and management, and sustainable energy systems. And it's one of the bigger campuses with about 2,000 students.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So that's basically a very brief overview of our campuses so that you can imagine a little bit what our structure is and which offer can be found in which campus. So why, after telling you where we are and what we offer, basically, why would you consider studying with us? What is special about our university? So at all the campuses, we offer you state-of-the-art infrastructure. So you will see in the photo, but also in the videos you would have seen, that our labs are equipped, with state-of-the-art laboratory equipment, no matter in which area this is. At all our programs, we can guarantee that the students graduate in time, unless, of course, they decide to take a semester break. But obviously, at the universities of applied sciences, the length of studies is guaranteed, and you always have the courses that you need to take. So this is all prepared for you so that you can actually follow the course of your studies without interruptions. Another benefit, which I think is very valuable, is that all the programs include internships, and sometimes, especially the bachelor programs, you have to do internships in companies as well before you can graduate. So all of this allows you to gain a lot of hands-on experience. You will be working in a lot of R&D projects, especially in the master's degrees. So this is very valuable because you'll be able to gain all those skills already during your studies. So once you graduate, you'll be ready to go out and work. Our groups are very small in general. Usually average class would be around 30 students. Obviously, if it's in a lab, it's even smaller. So that means the professors and all the lab technicians will actually know you, and they will be happy to help you and support you with your individual needs. In general, our university has a very close cooperation with industry, which results in a lot of joint activities. If it's student projects, even in first or second year bachelor, but then also master's projects that result in a lot of research. We offer a lot of support for our students. We have something called student ambassadors, which is a nice network of existing students from different countries who will be happy to help you with all your practical questions. You might have met some of them already. Actually, Irina is one of them, Maria is one of them. So we have quite a big network here to help you. And then also, of course, we offer buddies, different service offices for everything to make your studies enjoyable. And as you would have seen in our slides before, we have quite an international student population. I think the most recent number is 22% of our students that are international from 70 different countries, which actually makes it quite fun to be studying and working there. So if you're thinking of joining us, what do you actually need to do? It's quite straightforward. There's 5 steps of taking care so that you can join us and study with us. First of all, find your information. Go out to a webpage and see which programs that we offer, which program is it that is of most interest for you so that you can find what you really want to do. And then actually you start your online application process. We have linked our online portal here. So what you just need to do is you need to log on, upload your documents that are basically straightforward documents that you would have to hand in everywhere. And basically, this is what you need to do. Once we receive your application, we will do the review. We will contact you for the next steps. The admission process basically consists of a Skype interview mostly. This will be done with the head of the study program that you're applying for. So this is already where you can get the first impression of the people you'll be studying with later, and where you can also ask a lot of questions. After the admission process, basically you receive your feedback, your result rather quickly, depending on the current situation, but within 2 weeks. And then once you have your positive feedback, the next step would be to prepare your life in Austria and join us in fall. So this is in a nutshell, basically how you can join us to study with us. We put some practical information in here as well, just in case you're wondering. In terms of visa, there's obviously the differentiation between European Union citizens and third countries. So everybody with a European Union citizenship actually does not need any visa or anything to come to Austria. For people from third countries, for students from third countries, you need to apply for a visa in your home country, or if you are entitled to enter Austria without a visa, you're also most welcome to apply for your residence permit here in Austria. We put some links there for you to do some more reading, and if you have detailed questions, you can contact us about this later. Good. Other practical questions that we have been receiving a lot, obviously about accommodation, where will I be living? So all the 4 cities that we showed you, all the 4 campuses have the opportunity of, or have the offer of dorms. So you can stay in dorms in all the cities, or you can also go, if you prefer to do so, for private housing. Sometimes our students, especially at the master's level, decide to go for private housing and share flats and so on. In any case, whatever you decide to do, there's always support with this to help you to arrange everything before you actually come to Austria. In terms of living expenses, we put some figures here for you, and those are also linked on our webpage. But those are official numbers that you would have to calculate in order to survive in Austria. It's around 800 euros per month. In order to cover tuition, we have also put the numbers here on the slide. So you see that for European Union citizens, it's around 360 euros per semester and 720 for non-EU citizens. We do offer merit-based scholarships. Those are offered for very good students after the first semester with us. So I hope this answers your, the most urgent questions that you had. From our side, this is basically the information that we compiled for you. We wanted also to give you the opportunity to ask questions, and this is where you come in now. You can start asking your questions now in the chat, and then my colleague will be selecting the questions and will be answering them depending on the content. It's either me or one of the students answering the questions. If you want one specific person to answer a question, please just mention a name. Okay, so we have the first question, which is about GPA requirements for the English taught master's programs. So thank you, that's a very good question. In general, we do not have any minimum GPA requirements. Every application is being looked at individually, which means they will be looking at your whole profile. They don't look only for the GPA, but they will be looking at your previous studies, especially in the master's degrees. They would be looking for your bachelor's degrees, for all the project work that you did, for your interest, for your motivation letter. So even if the GPA might not be that good, they would still be looking for your whole profile and then deciding if you're a good match for the specific program or not. Does SES have internship included in the course? Maria, if you're there, I would maybe pass this question on to you since you're studying in the SES program. If Maria is here and can actually speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, she's here.
Well, as far as I know, the internship comes, well, you can do it either third semester or fourth semester as you wish, or even in summertime. I don't know if the question refers as a type of internship that is done also in mechatronics, AAM. So it's not like this type of mode of studies, but yes, so you have to do an internship. Just a short answer.
Okay, thanks. Maybe let me just add, I think in your third semester in SES, there is a master project, what they call, or master internship project that you have to do. And then the master thesis obviously is in many cases internship based. So I hope this helps. The German question. Sorry, yes?
The project too doesn't have to be exclusively with a company. You can also do internal research for the department, or a company will provide you with a research subject, and then you do your research inside the campus. There are multiple options for it.
Very good. Thanks, Connor. Yes, thank you for pointing this out. This is obviously true for many of the programs. I hope we covered that internship question enough. Otherwise, just ask us more aspects again. So Madeline is asking about the German. In general, it's not that you have to have any German skills before studying with us, but of course we do recommend having German skills, especially if you plan to stay in Austria and work in Austria. How much German you learn during your studies actually also will depend on how much time you want to invest in this. Maybe any of the students want to comment on this?
Yes, I can answer. So we receive one German course per semester. So basically, in 2 semesters, we cover A1 or A1 of German, but we're free to go for German courses outside of the campus.
Okay, so at all of the campuses, we offer free of charge German courses, obviously, but then sometimes students prefer to do additional courses, or other students just stick to the free courses that we offer. So it really depends on the personal preference as well. Okay, what else do we have? I see so many questions here. Okay, merit-based scholarship for AMM. So for the merit-based scholarship, the regular process would be to study with us, and then after the first semester that you complete with us, you can apply for the scholarship for the first year, okay? So it's usually after the first semester that you complete with us that you apply for this scholarship. Thank you, Erica, for pointing this out. Yes, she's asking about the visa applications to Austria. So obviously the situation is a little tricky for all of us now at the moment because things have become very much unpredictable compared to previous years. So in those countries where embassies are closed, obviously it's very difficult right now to apply for a visa. However, we are being positive and we hope that the situation will change in time for fall. Again, for all the students and for all nationalities that are allowed to travel to Austria without a visa, we would strongly recommend to use this option and then to apply for all the paperwork here in Austria, which is perfectly fine to do. In case some students will not be able to make it in fall to be on time for our studies, we will offer most likely virtual courses as well in order to allow you to study the first couple of weeks online to give you more time to take care of your visa. Do we have a PhD program? We do have several cooperations with universities in order to offer PhD programs. They are very much focused on the specific department's areas. So yes, we do offer them, but we don't have a general overview here at the moment. Santiago is asking about the admission process. The admission process in general is the same, no matter if you come from a partner university or from, for us, an unknown university. However, if it's a partner university, we might have the opportunity of checking the documents without legalization. This is something where you will receive more information during the application process. So our next question, I think it's about English certificates. Oops, question's gone. Okay, so in general, we accept IELTS or TOEFL or even Cambridge English certificates. We would just recommend to upload whichever certification of language you have, especially now at the moment where things might be difficult or you might not be able to get the certification that you plan to get. Just upload whatever you have and we will be checking and be in touch with you during the application process. Good. So in terms of visa, for students who come to Austria for a whole degree, we would definitely recommend the student residence permit because this is a visa that allows you to stay in Austria for up to 1 year and can then be renewed. If you apply for a visa D, that's for 180 days only, and you have to leave Austria after this time, and you have to apply again for something else outside of Austria. So if you plan to do a whole degree with us, definitely go for the student residence permit. German requirements. So if you want to study with us in one of the international programs, at the moment you do not need to have any German skills in order to be studying in this program. Obviously, it will make life a little easier if you plan to work in Austria. Maybe our students want to comment on this as well? And our graduates, Irina?
Yes, hello. How is the connection now? Yeah, it's much better. So I don't speak German very fluently now, and despite this, I could find a job already. I graduated in September, and I have found the job 2 months ago. So also during my studies, I have been always working part-time. It was no problem. So there are jobs in English here, and you can also find like more opportunities, of course, if you possess at least like B1, B2 level in German.
Perfect, thank you. So for the English language certificate scores, we do accept IELTS and TOEFL, as I said. For IELTS, it would be 6.0, and for TOEFL, it would be 78 points in the internet-based test. There's an AMM question. Connor, may I ask you to answer it?
Ma'am, can you hear me? So the interview results, it depends. Some people I know had their answer the afternoon, and some people got it a few weeks later, and a couple people got it a month later. So unfortunately, it depends. They usually go through and right at the tail end of the admission period, go through and give everyone their answers.
But in general, the sooner you apply, the sooner you will have your answer, obviously.
Yep, correct.
So to answer the power electronic lab question, we do have a lot of electronic labs at our School of Engineering. We even have high voltage engineering lab or high voltage power lab, which is quite a cool facility, which is brand new. And then we have a lot of labs that focus on renewable energies as well. Maybe Maria, you want to say something about this?
Hello?
Yes.
Super. Yes, we have labs. Some are related not only to electronics, but also like to, for instance, high performance buildings. We have a lab for this one. And I know there's an electronic lab as well. Honestly, I haven't used it yet. I'm only in second semester. But I know for future projects, we will use this one. And it comes from actually electrical engineering. Also, mechatronics use it. So, yeah, it will be open for you.
So application for next year, for this coming fall, actually is not closed. It's still open, and based on the current situation, we decided to shift our application deadlines. Usually our application deadline is around end of May for most programs, so 30th of May. But for this year, we decided to shift them just to give all of you a chance to still apply to gather your documents. We understand that the situation is very difficult at the moment. It's also difficult for us, but we try to make it as easy for you as possible to still apply and secure your spot with us to be able to start your studies in fall. The electrical engineering program at the moment does not have a double degree. We're working on several projects in this area, but it's still very much work in progress. So at the moment, no, not yet. We do have a double degree in the area of it's called applied electrical engineering, and that's a double degree with a French institution, and then we have a double degree with another institution in Italy, but that's more focusing on the engineering management side. So if you applied for the master's programs or for any program, you are in the pipeline at the moment, and you will definitely receive an answer within 2 to 3 weeks about the next steps. Please note that in general, your application should be as complete as possible so that our colleagues can actually look at your profile and decide if everything's there. In case anything's missing, they would contact you to get all the missing stuff from you. And interviews are being scheduled on a regular basis, but obviously they would have to find a time slot for interviews, so you might have to wait a little bit to get your interview. So I have been saying before that based on the current global situation that is challenging all of us on different levels, we have been trying to put in as much flexibility in this year's admission process as possible. So as I mentioned, deadlines will be shifted. We might be able to make exceptions or give you longer deadlines to submit certain documents. And then also we decided to be able to offer the first weeks of classes most likely in a virtual mode, so that in case you cannot join us in fall, in end of September, early October, you can follow the first couple of weeks online. The question about VPD, it's one of the nice abbreviations used. And basically what this is, it's an extra document that confirms your formal eligibility to study in Austria. So this is like, it's a check that is done by an agency called UniAssist, and they will provide you with a document that's called VPD. And in this document, it will say, yes, you're eligible to study in Austria or not. Regarding our innovation and product management, as with most master's degrees, to be honest, as I said, during the application, they will be looking at your profile. So they will be, of course, looking at the whole package. However, it's not required in those specific programs that you have already work experience. We do have some programs that are part-time programs where they will ask you to be working and studying at the same time. But the innovation product management is not one of those programs. So any experience you have will certainly help, but it's not required. In order to be eligible for a master's program at our university, you will have to have completed a bachelor's degree that's equivalent to a European degree. So this does not necessarily mean that you will have to have a thesis done. We do actually have students who never had to write a thesis because it's not part of the curriculum in their country, and this is fine. So there's no general yes or no question to this. It's really more about the equivalency of your bachelor's program to one of the Austrian programs. And this is actually what has been, or what will be checked during the application process through that VPD documentation. Okay, so there is somebody who's very prepared to study in Belz in one of our dorms at the Georg Oberheidinger dorm. So I'm happy to see that you applied for a spot with them. At the moment, they are trying to, I think at the moment they are trying to figure out what's going to happen next and when they will be able to accept students. So hold on, you should be able to get their response soon. I think things will be updated in May in Austria. So after May will be, or after April, actually in early May, we should be able to tell you what the situation in Austria will be for the next couple of weeks. So if you're a mechanical engineer and you're looking for a master's programs, there's several options for you. It depends in which area you want to go. So if you want to focus more in the automotive mechatronics area, there's the AMM program. We do offer also the SES program, which is more on the energy side. We have the innovation program, which is more the engineering management side. You could even apply for the medical engineering program. It's really up to you and your interest. So regarding legalization of documents in general, in a normal, perfect world, which we don't have at the moment, yes, we would be asking you to have your documents legalized. However, we are aware that public authorities, offices, embassies are closed at the moment in many countries. So obviously, we cannot force you to get legalization at the moment. So that's why we would ask you to upload your documents as they are, and we will find a solution during the next weeks. Dear Connor, there's a question for you.
Yep, I saw this one. Yes, it's possible to work. It's actually possible to work from the first semester if you would like, but they give you Monday free the first semester to work, and then Monday and Tuesday are free, and your courses are kind of shifted from Wednesday to Saturday in order to allow you to work, because it's kind of a strong point of this particular curriculum.
Wow, another one for Connor. Well, I think we covered that. It's really, it depends on the point in time you apply. Obviously, we would recommend to apply as soon as possible to get your results as soon as possible. I don't know when they currently have scheduled their next Skype interviews, but in general, the aim is to give you a feedback within 2 weeks. Okay, Erika, happy to hear that your German is actually that advanced. Wow. So if you already have a C1 level in German, yes, of course, you can study other languages. We do offer it. It always depends at the School of Engineering. It always depends how many other students are there who want to study the same language. But usually we offer Chinese, we offer Spanish, French sometimes, Russian. It really depends on the specific semester. But yes, there's options for other languages. So at our university in general, we have one intake per year. So our study programs and our academic year actually start in fall. And due to the structure that we have in the University of Applied Sciences, our studies only start in fall. So that means that there's no intake in January or March or at any point during the academic year. Okay. As I said, Cambridge certificates are accepted as well for English certificates, especially at this moment. So if you check our webpage, in general, the IELTS or TOEFL is required for everybody. Again, at this moment, if you do not have the possibility to sit one of the tests, I would recommend to just apply without the language certification, and I'm pretty sure they will find a solution for it. They will definitely contact you about the next steps. In Austria, if you are in Austria with a student visa, with a student residence permit, all of the students are allowed to work up to 20 hours per week. And then it depends on the type of job that you do, if it's research or if it's something else, if you need a specific permit for this or not. But in theory or in general, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours. So that would be a classical part-time job. So yes, it's possible. It really depends on the type of job that you do, if you need an extra permit or not. But in general, it's working and it's possible, yes. So everybody who graduates now in the next weeks or months, fingers crossed for you. Of course, we know that this is now where people start to graduate. So they are, of course, eligible to apply to our fall semester, obviously. We would definitely recommend to apply already, even if you don't have your final diploma yet. Just apply, put in your documentation, a proof that you are currently finalizing your studies, and maybe even a letter from your university saying that you are due to graduate on this and that date. And we will make sure to consider all of this when going through the application process. Maria, question for you.
Why did I decide to study here? Oof, many reasons. I was looking for a sustainable energy master, and I really like this one because it complements everything. It's not just like the engineering part, but like you see the full picture. You learn about the economic side, you learn even about geopolitics, and it's a very global mindset, this master. And yeah, so I decided to apply to this one. That was the main reason.
Thank you. So Hadia is asking the criteria for the merit-based scholarship after the first semester. Obviously, since it's merit-based, the main criterion would be academic performance. So we will be looking at the grade average and the academic performance of the students, and then see who the best candidates are to receive this scholarship. The International Foundation Program is completely in English. So for the International Foundation Program, this is actually something you can do if you need to catch up 1 year in order to study your bachelor's degree. This is also something you can use if you want to polish your German, for example. So there's many options to do during this 1 year program. Well, for the admission process in general, we can discuss your questions here. If it's a program-related question about, qualification for a specific program, it's always best to contact the program's office. You will find the contacts of our colleagues on the specific program webpage. They are the ones that will be receiving your application, and they are also the ones who will be doing all the next steps with you. So actually everything that is related to your program-specific application, I would recommend to check with the program colleagues directly. We do not have one central admissions office, so that's why it's really based in the programs. Documents do not need to be translated in German for our purposes. So we, of course, are perfectly fine with English documents. Just upload whatever you have, and German is not necessarily required.
Can I add something here?
Yes, please.
The embassy requires German documents, so I needed to translate my documents after applying. So if it's possible, then do it in German anyway from the beginning.
So yes, that's a good point, actually. Thank you. Some embassies, it really depends on the embassy in your home country. They might be asking you for the German document or the German translation of the documents, but this is really individual. So you might want to check with the according embassy before taking this decision, because otherwise, if you translate them to German and they will not ask you for it, nobody will ask you for them. So please check with your embassy first. Regarding the legalization, in order to apply, you do not need legalized documents for our university. However, if you are admitted, so for the admission process, after the Skype interview, if that's positive, we will ask you for legalization. So not for the first step, but then afterwards for the final admission, yes. At the moment, we know that it's difficult with legalization. So as I said, we will find solutions for those students who cannot bring legalizations in time. So we will allow, that late deadlines and everything. Wow, after graduation, you can actually, with the student residence permit, you can stay in Austria for up to 1 year. You can extend it for up to 1 year for the purpose of searching for work. So if you want to stay in Austria and look for work, look for employment, you can use your student residence permit, and this can be extended for up to 1 year. For Mexico, usually the correct legalization type would be the apostille. And as I said, if that's not possible at the moment, we will be flexible enough to give you a later deadline to provide this document. But you will receive this information in the admission process. So really just apply first, and then you receive all the information about legalizations through that program, okay? So the tuition fees, we have mentioned them on a previous slide. It's 360 euros approximately per semester for EU citizens and 720 for non-EU citizens. And that's the same for all the programs. We don't differentiate between bachelor's and master's or specific topics. So it's the same tuition fee for all the students at our university. Students are, of course, allowed to invite their family. However, it really depends on your family status, what type of visa you can do. So that's maybe something to clarify in detail, because it really depends on the individual situation, and I don't want to give a wrong answer here at the moment. In general, for all our programs, especially at the master's level, there's always the opportunity to work in research programs. So you could be employed part-time as a researcher at our institution if there's any programs that you like or any projects that you like and that have current openings. I know that our Research and Development Center is always looking for good people. So this is certainly a good option, yes. The International Foundation year or the International Foundation program is a 1-year program, so 2 semesters full-time. So it would be more or less the equivalent to 60 ECTS credits. So the mobile computing is a program that is offered at our School of Informatics, Communications and Media. It's a master's program that is taught in German, and it also has the energy informatic part in that program. In order to arrive here in Austria, first of all, we provide to most international students support through our student ambassadors network that I have pointed out before. And then we try to also provide buddies for most international students. So we will try, once you're admitted through the program's office, we will try to provide buddies for all of you so that you actually have a student contact that you can talk to for all your practical questions. And then what we do before the studies actually start, we organize a welcome week. And during this week or during those days, we give you all the practical information you need in order to start your life in Austria. And this, of course, includes also how do I get registered in Austria? How do I get my health insurance? What do I need to consider in terms of, I don't know, public transportation and so on? How do I open a bank account? So all those aspects will be clarified during our welcome week and welcome days. Yes, the Bachelor in Global Sales and Marketing is, of course, still available, and it's still taught at Steyr campus. So credit transfer in general will be always looked at the individual level. So if you have credits that you would like to transfer from another university, just make sure to upload all your documents and certificates that you have and mention in your motivation letter what your plans are that you would like to transfer from another university. In general, it is possible to transfer courses that are very similar in content and ECTS level, yes. Diego is asking about the International Foundation Program. So the process is basically the same. You apply online through the portal, and the whole admission process is the same. So you will have an interview with the head of the program and with our colleague from the administration office. They will then determine if the profile fits, and then they will let you know about admission. So it's basically the process is pretty much the same. And then once you start, it's a 2 semesters program, and after the 2 semesters, you're eligible to study at any of our bachelor's programs at the University of Applied Sciences Upper Austria. How many international students are going to be accepted in general? So in all the programs, we are trying to have a good balance of a diverse student body base, basically. So we don't want to have too many students from the same nationality in one program, just to keep it balanced. So most of the programs are between 20 and 30 students in total, and the percentage of international students really depends on the current year situation. We have, in the international programs, we have percentages between, I would say, 40 to 80% international. It really depends on the program and the year. Ahmed, there's a question for you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, living in Austria is really nice. One of the reasons that I chose to live in Austria is it's possible for me to work a part-time job along with my studies and cover myself financially entirely. So Linz is it's not an expensive city. Finding a part-time job is not hard, and you get paid enough to cover your accommodation and your food and rent and everything.
Do we send official signed and stamped acceptance letters? Yes, normally we do if the students require it for visa purposes. In many cases, it's not required anymore to have an official like hard copy letter, but we definitely provide it via email at this moment. But in any case, once you are admitted, you will be in very close contact with the admissions or with the program office, and you will be able to contact them anytime if you need a specific document, and they will be happy to send it. So the question is if somebody can study 2 master's degrees at the same time. Well, of course, if somebody has a very good profile for one of our master's degrees and has the qualifications that are needed, he or she can apply for it and will be admitted. However, personally, I would doubt if somebody could study 2 master's degree programs at the very same time, unless you mean one after the other. of course, if somebody has already completed a master's degree and wants to go for another one, perfectly fine. Why not? It always really depends on the individual profile. So there is no general yes or no to this question. So the one tricky part of working in international admissions is to determine if the qualifications are actually equivalent to what we need in order to be able to accept you into an Austrian degree program. So that's our job actually, together with the Uni Assist agency, to determine what is equivalent. However, if you're asking about the prepa in Mexico, I know that the prepa itself will not qualify you to study in one of our bachelor's degrees. If you have completed something like an IB, like an international baccalaureate, this will qualify you to study in our bachelor's directly. After the prepa, I would recommend to apply for international foundation program. So yes, this is exactly one of the challenges that I was commenting on before. So I'm happy to hear that you got your acceptance letter already. We do realize that it's very hard to plan at the moment if the embassy is closed, but again, keep monitoring, and once the embassy opens, please apply for your visa. Please also check if you're allowed to enter Austria without a visa. I don't know by heart if for Philippine citizens this is possible or not. But again, even if you should not be able to make it until September, we can still offer you to join the first classes online during the first week so that you can have a little bit more time to get your visa to come late. Connor, Emilio is asking a question for you.
So my program is composed of people from all over. We have a lot of mechanical engineers, but I am actually one of the few people who had a lot of programming knowledge coming in beforehand. C++, Java, Python, and C for microcontrollers. So I came in pretty prepared, but so far most of the programming languages we've been using are just MATLAB and a little bit of C#. So if you come in, like some of the guys in our program were pure mechanics, they didn't know any programming really. The university does a really good job of preparing you and providing you with kind of from the ground up courses.
If you cannot submit legalized documents at the moment due to our situation that we are in, please clarify this with the specific program where you will start. Again, there will be individual solutions to individual problems, just because right now it's very hard to plan, but we definitely are committed to allow you to study with us, even though you might be missing one or two documents that are usually required. So please clarify this with the program that has admitted you, and they will be finding solutions together with you. Irina, somebody's asking you why you decided to study with us.
Well, first of all, I like the international global approach to the studies here. And secondly, I was aiming to the double degree program with the US partner university in Wisconsin. It allowed to get the MBA degree and the Master of Global Sales and Marketing here at the same time in 2 years. So that was great. And now there is also one more program open, the triple degree MBA program, which might be even more interesting for new applicants. So it's definitely cool to study here with these programs.
What type of accommodation would we recommend in Wels? In Wels, it really depends. The offer in Wels is very broad. So we have 2 student dorms that are usually booked quite well. So you'd have to be fast to sign up for those. The dorms are, one of the dorms offers half board, meaning breakfast and dinner. The other dorm is more of a flat sharing community type of thing. It really depends on what you're looking for, and if you want to be more independent or if you want to have more service, how much you want to spend. So there is a broad offer in Wels, and it really depends on what you're looking for. So the job opportunities in general are very good after our studies. We have a 99% employment rate of our graduates, which I think is great. we did have 7-8 years ago, we did struggle with international graduates a little bit. However, this has become so much better now, and most of our international graduates find jobs even before they graduate here. So they end up doing a master's thesis together with a company, and then they can start working with them. So it really depends on how well you perform during your studies, and also a little bit on your German knowledge. So if you plan to work in Austria and stay in Austria for a longer period, we would definitely recommend to brush up on your German skills. So our academic year starts in October. Then we have around 2 weeks of Christmas break in late December, early January, and then most of February is off for semester break. Then we have around 10 days off for Easter break, around Easter. And then our summer break starts in July and continues until end of September. So this is more or less, I hope I didn't forget anything, but this is more or less the semester times and holiday times in Austria.
Camila, can I add something?
Go ahead.
I think it depends on the program because, for example, I'm in the Master of Medical Engineering, and we had most of February exams, so we only had a break for 1 week, 9 days. So it depends on the program.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
The global sales and marketing also starts usually in the middle of September, but this year it might differ for sure.
That's true, yes. So what we start with in September is definitely with welcome days or welcome week. So this is something that's obviously before the official academic year starts, but yes, this starts in September. Mm-hmm. What else? Do we have any more questions? So when you apply for a student residence permit, they will of course ask you also to prove that you will be able to fund your life in Austria. The exact amount will depend on your age. So there's a certain amount that you will have to prove up to 24 years of age, and then 24 years of age and more, the amount is higher. I think it ranges between 600 and 900 euros per month that you will have to show, and this for 1 year in advance. Usually you have to do this when you pick up your residence permit in Austria. However, we did put on a slide with the financials, we did put a link with more information, so you might want to read this for more details. So if you have a letter of acceptance already, especially for the International Foundation Program, the German level is not required. If you are applying for a German taught program, but you cannot get your final certificate, please just make sure to clarify this in the admission process with the according colleague from the study program. As I said, we are aware that the situation currently is very difficult and that not everybody will be able to get all their certificates in time. So there will be definitely other ways of proving your German skills, for example, if they are needed for your studies. As I said before, we would just, at the moment, we understand that a lot of embassies and offices are closed. So if you cannot get any legalizations, please just submit the documents that you have. If the study program office asks you for legalized documents, tell them that what the situation is in your home country. And as I said before, there's a certain amount of flexibility that we can show at the moment if certain legalizations are missing. But this is something that you need to clarify after you have your admission decision from the program, and this is something to discuss with the program. So there's the amount of the Austrian Student Union fee, which is a fee that every student in Austria has to pay, is around 20 euro per month, 20. As I said, all the applications are being looked at individually by the program's head. So they really sit down and look at all the candidates and look at their full profiles. And this really depends on the specific program and on the specific situation. So It's not like they're looking only at your grades or only at your previous education, but it's really the full package that they are looking at and the match that you have in applying for the specific program. Good. So as I said before, there is the opportunity of staying in Austria for 1 more year after you finish your studies here with us. With your student residence permit, you can stay here for 1 more year to search for employment. So in general, all the questions relating to the coronavirus, what I can tell you is that we are aware of the situation and we will be very happy to provide flexible solutions that will work for all of you. Because of course we understand that the situation is very difficult at the moment. If you are missing a specific language certificate, then of course there is another opportunity. For example, you can have a Skype interview with the head of studies and he can, or she can check if your language skills are enough even with without the certification and so on. So there, all the corona based problems that we're having at the moment in terms of offices being closed, legalizations not being issued, language certificates not being available, we will deal with all those issues with a lot of flexibility to really accommodate your requests and be able to welcome you with our university this fall. So all the credits that will be gained in the International Foundation Program will be counted towards your entrance requirements for Austrian universities of applied sciences, or universities of our University of Applied Sciences specifically, yes. Good, I think we're slowly coming to an end with the questions. We will try to provide 1 more webinar definitely in late spring, early summer, where we can clarify your open questions and update you on the corona situation in Austria and how we plan to start our studies in fall once we know more. So watch out, keep following our Facebook page and our Instagram accounts. We will be providing more events like this. Good, I think that's it so far with the questions for now. So if you have any more questions that you forgot about right now or that pop into your mind later on, I would like to point you to our Student Ambassadors Network that you will find on our webpage on the mentioned address here. You will reach them at the mentioned email address as well. So if you can think of anything that you forgot to ask or questions that come later, just feel free to contact our student ambassadors. They'll be very happy to help you. If you have specific questions for me, you will reach me in the international office of the School of Engineering. My email address is also here for you to see. And then another specific event that I wanted to point out for you is actually a virtual open house that we're planning at the moment. It's going to happen at the end of April, 2 different dates. So our Linz campus and our Hagenberg campus will offer the open house activities on April 27th, which is a Monday. And then our School of Engineering and our School of Business and Management will offer an open house on April 30, which is a Friday. So what happens during this virtual open house? There will be all the information about study programs available for you. We will probably also set up an international, like a chat group, where you can ask all your questions as well. You'll be able to talk to international programs, set up meetings specifically with the international programs. So we would definitely recommend to attend this event and reserve your time to find more information about the program that you're interested in. Good. I hope this was interesting for you. We hope to have been able to cover your questions, the most urgent questions that you had so far. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any more questions, as I mentioned before, and then I guess we'll see you soon, hopefully. Thanks very much for your attention and have a good day. Bye.